By introducing myself.
Yes, please go ahead.
I am Jeff Winston. I'm a registered clinical nutritionist or dietitian, if you so may like. Registered and certified by the Nutritionists and Dietitians Council, also known as Kenya Nutritionists and Dietitians Institute, and a graduate of the prestigious Kenyatta University School of Public Health. And I've practiced in various health facilities, Gertrude Children's Hospital, Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital. I've been at Gatundu Level 5 Hospital. I've also done a lot of community outreach and so much of working with the community, working with individuals, different setup. And what we are discussing today, I call it the weight epidemic.
The weight epidemic.
Yes, because it's really, it's an epidemic. You can see the confusion right now, just as you mentioned. Many are struggling to gain, and others are really struggling to lose.
And they know themselves.
I wouldn't want to mention that.
No, but they do know themselves anyway. I know they're tuned in. I'm also listening. I'm here.
I know many are tuned in.
Yes.
There's a lot of participation on social media. I've seen the feedback over there. I know Kefas is tuned in over there from Thika, Kilibambogo. Sam is tuned there listening. And James all the way from Turkana. So many people are following because of the discussion that we had last time. And we had so many questions regarding the same.
Yes.
And I just want to begin with some quick facts on this issue, Chris. Very shocking statistics concerning this weight management issue. We had a report in 2016, the Global Nutrition Report, and it projects that the obesity situation in Kenya is currently approaching 50% of the population among women in the urban areas aged between 19 and 49 years of age. And what is more shocking, Chris, is that overweight and obesity, one of the epidemic of the weight we're talking about,
overweight and obesity, was
one of the conditions we reserved for the upper class or the well-to-do off.
Yeah.
But
walionayo,
as you may say, wenye nchi. But what is more shocking, as researchers found out, especially in Nairobi here, a survey was carried out in 2008 and 2009, and the researchers were shocked that obesity is even much more prevalent in slum and slum areas. Why? Because now people view or regard mass, when somebody is voluminous, if I am allowed to use that.
Yes, please.
As well-to-do off in the society.
Mzito.
Exactly. But my question to the listeners this evening, even as I begin, are people aware?
Of
the effect of weight, whether low or high, towards their health? Yes, that's the big question tonight. Why I will call it an epidemic. Are you aware that there is a direct effect to your weight, whether low or high, to your net effect on the weight? So that is what we are here to discuss tonight. And I invite all our listeners on board to join us in this debate, even this night.
Yes.
And what I want to also to bring to the notice of our listeners this evening, that when we talk about the weight epidemic, it's not only about the overweight and the obese. We also have a majority of the population who are underweight. What you'll call malnourished. But in Kenya, we are also in another big shock awaiting us. Recently, on one of our papers, it was featured, one of the national newspapers, that we are currently facing a shortage of therapeutic foods in our health facilities. You may ask, what are therapeutic foods? Therapeutic feeds are those kinds of foods we give to the undernourished children, especially below 5 years, to boost their weight. You know, there's an age where we call the window of opportunity.
Window of opportunity.
The window of opportunity is 0 to 2 years of age. If you miss the nutrition of your child from 0 to 2 years, the consequences are a lifetime.
Whoa.
So remember, even as a parent tuned in this evening, that the window of opportunity for your young baby is from 0 to 2 years, beginning from breastfeeding all the way to the weaning until you begin complementary feeding. So you have to stay keen on this program tonight, because we'll talk much more on this window of opportunity. And even if you miss the window of opportunity, maybe the kid is now 3 years, 4 years, or 5, then it's all not lost. We still have an opportunity to regain it, Chris. Yes.
Thank you so much. That's very, very powerful. Should I call it a summary or something, an introduction? Yes, it's going to be powerful here. I know. What should I call it? Introduction.
That can be our introduction for the night.
All right. Thank you so much, precious listener. That is it. The introduction for tonight. And I believe it is and I know you know, it's going to be powerful here tonight.
Yes, Chris, the first thing I would like to begin with is to find out, how do I know if I'm nutritionally fit?
How do I know if I'm nutritionally fit?
If I'm not overweight, underweight, or whatever you may call it. Because you see, it's better to start from knowledge. Even the Bible says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Because of lack of knowledge.
So knowledge is power. Knowledge is empowerment. Knowledge is very much important to, you can help you to manage your life, manage that weight, manage your condition.
Yes.
I remember last time when I was here, we talked about the body mass index.
The calculation. I remember you did some calculation.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, I didn't like my results anyway, but continue.
Yes, the body mass index is one of the fastest or quickest way to know if you are fluctuating well with your weight, to know if it's time to do more of your food or go to the gym, or if you know that this is a moment to add more of your proteins. Body mass index is a quick way you can do it, just a calculator. If you're having on your phone,
body mass index.
Yes.
BMI.
If you're having a calculator on your phone, or the normal high school calculators, just take your weight.
Your weight. So you can do this, by the way, precious listener, even as you continue, and I believe you'll get to learn a lot. So take your weight.
Your weight. We can use an anonymous weight for Chris.
Okay. 70. Okay. 70
kgs for Chris.
70 kg. Although that's not my kgs, and I'm very heavy. 70 kgs.
Then we assume Chris is 1.8 meters.
1.8 meters.
So 70 divided by 1.8 square meter, that will give us your BMI.
70 over 1.8 square meters. So
Yes.
this should be 3 point something?
Just do the calculation. Then I need a figure.
70 over 1.8.
70 over 1.8 squared. That will give us the BMI.
Let me do it there. Okay, let me open my calculator here.
Precious listeners, it's a quick arithmetic you can do on your phone.
Yeah, do US 70.
Just take your weight. Then you divide by your height squared. So for example, Chris, we can do 1.8 times 1.8. That will give us 3.24.
3.24.
Then 70 divided by 3.24.
That is 21.60.
21.60. So that is your BMI.
21.60.
Yes, but that figure does not mean anything unless you know the ranges for a normal BMI, an overweight, or an underweight.
So take us through that.
Yes. So once you get the figure, your BMI, your weight, divided by your height squared, like now for your case, an anonymous weight, we've got 21.6 kilograms per square meter. A normal BMI ranges from 18.5 to 24.5.
To 24.5. Normal. This is normal BMI.
That's a normal BMI. So with our anonymous weight, we can say Chris
is healthy.
Is healthy.
I told you.
Chris has a normal BMI. Then a BMI below 18.5.
Below 18.5.
to 16.5, that's moderate underweight. That's moderate underweight, or you can say moderately malnourished.
Wow, moderate underweight.
Yes, or moderately malnourished.
Let's use underweight.
Let's use layman language. Then if your BMI is beyond 16.5 towards the extreme ends, 16.5, 16.3, 16.2, you need to visit a health facility because you are severely malnourished. And that puts you at health risk of very many diseases. Not just a disease, even your own immunity is low because your BMI almost correlates directly to your immunity. It's a vicious cycle. Low weight leads to low immunity, and you are predisposed to many infections. So that's on the lower side. On the higher side, BMI of 25.5 to 30. In fact, 29.5
to 29.5.
That's overweight.
Okay.
A BMI of 29.5 and above, 30 all the way, that's an obese individual.
29.5 and above.
That's an obese individual.
Wow. Obese.
Obesity is not, people want to look big and think it's a fancy way of lifestyle.
Kakitambi kidogo.
Yes. I began by asking, are our citizens aware of the effect of that weight to their health, whether high or low? Because we know from research and from findings and from scientific proof that obesity predisposes you to several health-related conditions. To be specific, non-communicable diseases. And remember, non-communicable diseases are the leading killing diseases right now globally.
Wow.
Name them like high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, type 1, type 2 diabetes, many types of diabetes. There are so many kind of non-communicable diseases because of excess weight. So that is the quickest way you can know if you are ranging in normal weight, low weight, or overweight.
Or uko tu sawa.
Uko tu sawa. But also for the mothers who take their kids to the growth clinic, most of the time you come to the hospital and you find the nurse is very harsh on you. Anakuliza, kadi ya clinic iko wapi? And people are quick to say, huyo nurse ako na roho chafu.
Kuna roho chafu sana, sijui aliamka aje leo.
Huyo nurse aliamka aje. But that basic book, it's a legal document actually, because it shows the movement of that baby, whether it's progressing well or moving on the wrong direction. So to know if your child below 2 years of age, below 5 years, actually below 0 to 5 years, you use the MCH clinic book. Ile tunaita kadi ya clinic. So the kadi ya clinic has a growth chart. The growth chart is plotted using Z-scores, what we call Z-scores. Weight for height scores. So it shows the weight of your child compared to the standard weight of a child that same age.
I don't
know if you got what I meant with weight for height scores.
Yes.
Is the weight of your child compared to the weight of another child the same age, what should be?
So like weight of a child compared to the weight of another child who is...
that's a standardized way by WHO standards.
In other words, the weight of a child at that particular age. A healthy child. Okay.
So once you have the growth chart or the cardiac clinic, mothers, please don't lose the cardiac clinic. Don't wash it in water. It's a very important medical and even a legal document.
Anasema nitakata ingine.
No. No, most people think it's a thing you can go and buy a new book and start drawing from the 7th age or 8th age. No. We need that book from the beginning of your attendance of A and C clinics all the way to when the child is 5 years and above. Because it helps us to know if this child is progressing well, this child needs some nutritional intervention or medical intervention. Because the weight, even if it's stagnant, can tell us there's a problem with this child.
Okay.
And an underlying problem.
Okay.
If the weight is going down consistently, we can know that there is a problem with this particular baby. If the weight is going up rapidly, then the doctor, the nurse, the nutritionist, whoever, the medical professional can tell if there's a condition that is underlying with this particular baby. So my appeal to the mothers this night, don't throw away the cardiac clinic. Nimechoka na clinic, especially after 2 years of age. They throw away the books. Clinic ya mwisho is around 1.5 years of age.
Nasema amepita mtihani. But remember, please keep that medical book, keep that record. It's for your own safety and for the safety and the health of the baby. So that is the quickest way of knowing your nutritional status. For adults, using BMI. Okay.
For children, we use the weight for height scores. Some hospitals use percentile charts. So don't just go to the clinic as a mother, unapimiwa mtoto kwa kilo na kupimiwa urefu, and you don't even know why they're doing that.
Wajuangi. Yes. Wengine.
Majority, by the way. Anameweka mtoto kwa kilo, weka urefu, then they walk away. Anauliza kilo ni ngapi? 7. They think 7 and last month was 6. They are happy, they walk away.
Ameimprove, kukula vizuri.
Exactly. You need to check that on your growth chart. Check if the baby is progressing on the path to health or is moving on a different path, Chris. I think that's the basic way of knowing our nutritional status.
Wow. Maybe the first question will be, what causes obesity? Anyway, what causes obesity or overweight?
There are several things that causes obesity.
Wengine wanasema ni kukula chipo mingi, kukula hizo. What causes obesity? Yes.
Obesity is a condition that begins early in age. Just as I said, we are seeing shocking and emerging trends, like finding obesity in slum areas, which were considered as economically depressed, economically challenged. So obesity was considered something of the rich. But we are seeing it in slums.
Shocking.
Low economic status areas. We are seeing obesity emerging in small kids, 5 years. You may think that child is 10 years of age. Have you seen such kids?
Yeah, I have.
Yes, and then you're told the age of the kid. You don't want to ask further questions because, it may end up looking like you're embarrassing the kid or embarrassing the mother to that child. Those are emerging trends, what we call emerging trends. Obesity emerging in early age. We've also seen a situation where teenagers, sorry to say, may look like mothers, or a teenager looking like someone's father. Why? Because of excess weight gain. So you see, obesity cannot be pinned on one particular issue as causing this condition. Because what is causing this small 2-year-old, 3-year-old to get obesity? And you see the same situation in a teenager or an adolescent. And then you also find it in an old grown-up man. So just to mention briefly, Chris, obesity is caused by several factors.
Obesity is caused by several factors.
Number one, for example, this small child, maybe 2 years or 3 years of age, these ones can be genetically caused.
Serious?
The mother was already obese at her time of gestational period, what is called pregnancy. During her gestation, she was already obese. That's why I was saying, really our citizens aware of the effect of this weight towards their health? And unfortunately, even to the unborn baby. Because this child is put at a risk factor of even growing obese. So number one, their genetic predisposition, being predisposed to obesity because of genes. You see, you look at them, you see, familia yetu tunakuanga wakubwa.
Yeah, sisi ni tumeshona.
But Chris, among the many few people who tend to disagree that obesity is genetically modified, you don't eat genes.
Tell us.
Hata kama familia yetu tunakuanga wakubwa, do you eat those genes?
You don't.
Then it comes, of course, genes can predispose you to obesity.
Yes.
But it is not a reason to remain mastered and a slave to obesity. Because you don't eat genes.
You don't eat genes.
I'll just give a challenge to our listeners. You can Google our Nairobi senator here, Senator Johnson Sakaja. He's like, it was almost a 6 months transformation. He was very huge. But you read about the success story of our Senator Johnson Sakaja when he chose to adopt positive lifestyle changes. And one of the main things that...
positive lifestyle changes.
I should underline that.
Yes. Positive lifestyle changes or positive behavior change. Actually, that's the word.
Positive behavior change.
And one of the main highlights, if you listen or read the story of Senator Sakaja, one of the main things that he says, I had to sacrifice my love for the booze.
Okay.
Yes. It's all over. You can just Google on your phone or your personal digital. He says, one thing I had to sacrifice is my love for the booze. For those who may not know what booze is, it's just the alcohol that some of us may like taking.
The busa.
Not busa.
The booze.
Booze.
Okay.
Busa, kumi, wine, alcohol, spirits, whiskey, all those kind of things. They're alcoholic drinks. I talked about jeans. I talked about lifestyle, like seated on your office desk from morning to evening, calling the Uber guy from your desk, using lift from the office down to the office door.
Hakuna kunyoosha mguu.
No. You tell the Uber guy, niko kwa mlango yetu hapa, sikuoni. Nimesimama kwa mlango ya ofisi, sikuoni. Before you go home, you ask the Uber guy to drop you where?
Somewhere in town to pick something.
Yes. And that thing, mostly, it's fast foods. Because I'm tired, I'm from office. I don't want to go and cook.
I'm tired of cooking.
Without mentioning brands, fast food restaurants are cropping up town every other minute. They are feeding the hunger and our appetite. But at the same time, feeding this epidemic we are calling the weight epidemic.
The weight epidemic.
Because you see, we are slowly and rapidly moving towards our traditional diets, towards Western diets, what we call Western diets. All these things are not in our normal diets. And even compare the prevalence of some of these health conditions to the many yesteryears when our parents were doing our traditional diet. They were not there. Cancer was not as prevalent as it is right now.
Yeah.
Hypertension, blood pressure was not as prevalent as it is today. So those are some of the conditions that predispose or make us susceptible to obesity.
Okay.
Check in our Nairobi homes, Chris. Somebody stays on the 5th floor. The kids are want not to go and play outside.
Yeah.
They are watching
cartoons.
If it's game,
playing games.
If it's game, they have to play FIFA. Those are the things.
Badala watoke nje huko waendeshe baiskeli.
No.
Wagongwe ngoto ndio warudi.
That one is long gone. That one is long gone. Lifestyle is totally sedentary. The father comes from office, Uber, fast food, comes home. The kids have been indoors. In fact, right now with COVID, it's even worse.
Me, myself, and I.
Yes, they've been indoors the whole day, watching movies, playing games. In fact, some of them don't touch a thing. The housemaid is there.
Wow.
So we are developing a culture where we are moving towards westernized diets. Poor or low physical activity. Sedentary lifestyles. Where everything is at the tap of a button.
Yes, digital. You
want to move from office, lift, elevator.
You just take your phone.
Call the Uber guy. You're gone. Check our diets. They are what I call the westernized diets. Our meals, few meals are home prepared. We do a lot of fast food restaurants. Even check supermarkets today. They don't miss a cafeteria towards the entrance or towards the exit. Sorry to say.
I tell you.
So if you are to try to find out what causes obesity, it's several factors.
Quite a lot.
You cannot say it's this particular thing. That is why I'm saying it's a point of adopting positive behavior change.
Adopting positive behavior change. Then what causes underweight then? Now the opposite of the obesity.
Chris,
I know of people who eat well, they do things well, but they are like, why am I not increasing? Why are you laughing?
Yeah, it's true. What you are asking is very true. Because, it's when you check at Kenyan statistics, we have the Kenya Demographic Health Survey. It's done like after around 10 years. We find that obesity in Kenya is at around 60%.
Obesity is at 60% in Kenya.
that doesn't mean that the 40% are healthy.
Okay.
We still have another huge burden of underweight individuals.
So kuwa slender sije una mwili imanishi you are healthy.
No.
Okay.
We don't show weight, not health by the physical being. That's why I said BMI. If you look slender, does not mean you're underweight. If you look big, does not mean you're overweight. That's why we use BMI. The BMI tells you if your weight is standard, your weight is overweight or underweight. So don't be fooled when someone looks slender and then you say, hey. And I remember when I was beginning, I told you that there's a study that was done in some 2 slum areas in Nairobi here. And these researchers used some photographs. And they were showing the residents. They wanted the residents to choose some body types they wanted. So they drew images of the slender guys you're saying, the medium slender, extremely slender, huge, those kind of things. It was shocking that majority of these individuals chose the voluminous.
The huge, that one, chairman.
Kiongozi. So many people think that to look well off, healthy, good to do, successful.
Wengine nataka kwenda kusimama MCA.
Yes.
Washone.
Exactly.
Ndio wajue
people think or tend to imagine that means now you are healthy.
You're healthy.
No. It's not the case.
Okay.
So you asked me what causes being underweight. I want to mention that just as obesity starts at early or at the onset from beginning at the small kids, undernutrition also begins at that early age. What we call the window of opportunity, 0 to 2 years.
Window of opportunity, 0 to 2 years.
Yes, there are 1,000 days of life. Medically, it's called the 1,000 day of life. The 1,000 day of life is very much important because mistakes done at this age are really a lifetime. If you don't do it correct at the window of opportunity, this baby even develops, number one is the low weight.
Low weight.
Yes. Once you develop a low weight baby, you'll be always in hospital. Why? These babies have low immunity. Any little pneumonia, they'll catch pneumonia. Any little flu, this baby will catch flu. This common baby condition, diseases, diarrhea, I don't know what, cholera, these kind of things. They can't fight infections. Why? Because of the underweight. So at the window of opportunity, 0 to 6 months, number one, the mother has to breastfeed exclusively.
0 to 6 months is the window of opportunity.
Not even drinking water. The window of opportunity, sorry, Chris, is 0 to 2 years.
2 years, yes.
But I'm beginning from 0 to 6 months now. From 0 to 6 months as a mother, not even drinking water. Yes.
The child should not drink water.
Breast milk has is percentage is water.
Wow, okay.
Yes,
so 0 to 6 months.
Not even drinking water.
But huko wataanza kupea mtoto ugali imetumbukizwa ndani ya soup.
Yes, that's what they do. But the baby should take breast milk like nyonyo. 0 to 6 months, not even 0 to 29 days of the fourth month.
0 to 6 months.
0 to completely breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding.
And I know there are mothers out there listening who say I have to report to duty after 3 months of my leave, maternity leave, or 4 months. It's still possible to continue breastfeeding your child even while going to work. Yes.
I tell you.
You can do expression of the milk. Leave your nanny there with the milk. The breast milk stays healthy for 24 hours without refrigeration. Yes. Just leave it there. Give instructions to your nanny. Give this baby this particular milk. Not even cow's milk. Breast milk.
Breast milk.
0 to 6 months.
Wengine watasema maziwa ni maziwa.
Maziwa sio maziwa.
Wanunue kwa duka.
No. In fact, you come to hospital, you say maziwa ya mama ya bamba. That's the slogan you use in the hospital. Breast milk contains everything that the baby needs.
Okay.
Even they say my baby is complaining of stomach aches. I need to buy grape water. I need to buy what? No. Breastfeed your baby.
Breastfeed your baby.
Those stomach aches are because of those cups you're using to give this baby cow's milk. Those cups are washed with our normal soap. But, Chris, your bacteria, your intestines cannot compare with that of a baby. You can buy ngumu on the streets and you'll just be okay.
Urarue kabisa.
Yes, but the baby, the immune system is not developed. So when you start introducing other feeds, you start introducing infections to the baby, you'll be complaining over and over again of infections, those kind of things. So that is for the 0 to 6 months of child. So if you don't do proper breastfeeding, then this child begins getting underweight at 0 to 6 months of age. Because by 6 months of age, this baby should double his or her age at birth. If you gave birth to a baby at 3.5, by 6 age of month, they should be at least 7 kg if you are breastfeeding adequately. So if your baby is not adding weight, it is not that they are lacking ugali.
Ask the mother.
Ask the mother.
What are the causes of undernutrition?
Thank you, Chris. Good to be back. Just as we were talking about causes of undernutrition, I started by... causes of underweight.
Yes.
I started by referring to the 0 to 2 years of age babies who are predisposed to underweight because of poor choices from the mother, feeding choices. So remember, as a mother, it's 0 to 6 months exclusive breastfeeding, no uji, no ugali, no nothing. We begin complementary feeding at 6 months of age. That's when you can introduce your ugali, your waru, your ndizis, and your spinach and your terere. That goes all the way up to 2 years of age, continuing breastfeeding up to 2 years of age.
I will stop.
You don't stop breastfeeding up to 2 years of age. It's recommended you do 0. Remember, our window of opportunity we mentioned was 0 to 2 years. So continue breastfeeding up to 2 years of age. As the kid is growing up, it's important to also give healthier food choices for the baby. Please give your children table diets. What you eat on the table, give your baby. Immediately the kid starts pulling your plate or your cup, give them. There's this situation where some of us come from, mtoto atakula terere na managu na maduma na magwashe up to 5 years of age. Where some of us come from.
Na ugali imechanganyishwa kwa supu.
And where some of us also come from, chakula mtoto ni ugali na maziwa.
Maziwa, period. Kama ni nyama, ni ugali imebondwa na supu ya nyama. Yes. Nyama, wengine wanakula nyama.
No. Yeah, they'll take supu ya nyama. So kindly, when the baby hits 2 years of age, not even 2 years of age, a baby 1 year is enough to eat the table diet. Immediately you start seeing your baby pulling your plate, please allow them enjoy that meal.
Usiseme ukijana kuna kiherehere.
Hata kimwaga kwa floor chini, leave them. It's their stage, it's their thing, leave them. Hata kiamua hata kuikulia hapo kwa floor. Yes. It's their own way of expressing themselves. So you also have that opportunity to give your child healthy food, not just nduma and there's another thing, Chris, boiling baby food. Chakula ya mtoto ni ya kuboil. They boil and leave that kid to eat that boiled food forever. So I always ask mothers, tafadhali we chukua hiyo waru, boil, weka chumvi, ukule for 1 week if you will eat it. And then they'll complain, mtoto wangu akulangi.
Kwa shoko.
Yes, they'll say mtoto wangu akulangi. But how do you eat boiled food Monday to Monday? I cannot. Fry the food for the baby, put some kitungu and nyanya, make the food appetizing to the kid. So if you do that, you'll start experiencing underweight at an early age. Because you'll start seeing the child having aversions for food because of the mode of preparation. And not just mode of preparation. There's no diversity in their food. They're always eating nduma na waru na ngwashe na pumpkins. I don't know where you come from. What do you give babies, Chris?
Mayai, supu ya omena kidogo.
Mayai. See, I think where you come from, they say if you give babies mayai, they will not talk.
Yeah, watakuwa na ulimi nzito.
I
don't know.
Where some of us come from anyway. They say ukipea mtoto mayai.
Is that true?
It's not true. How does eggs make you not talk?
Oh my.
How is eggs and your tongue related?
I wish my mother was listening to this.
Fortunately,
right, ya kukula mayai.
Fortunately, there are many mothers tuned in tonight. immediately your baby starts pulling the plate. Give him or her. Yes. And then we move to the small kids, 3 years, 5 years, school-going age. Undernutrition also, underweight starts also happening and occurring at this school-going age. Why? The kids wake up at 4 a.m. To wait for the school bus at 5:30.
I tell you.
So this baby is still sleepy even if you give them breakfast. And a sleepy child will not eat. Will not. You'll give them food, they'll tell you they're okay.
Mama niko sawa.
Mama niko sawa. Because they have to wake up. In fact, in Nairobi here, sometimes I'm still asleep. And the school bus is already hooting for the neighbors' kids at 5:30.
At 5:30.
Then, when they are given snacks to school, the mother packs biscuits, Ribena, biscuits, and yogo. Sorry, I don't want to mention names. But, some of these funny things.
And yogurt.
Sometimes they pack, chocolates. Some pack for them this kind of funny snacks for break. So at school-going age, ensure when you're packing for your kids' meal to school, it can be the food you cooked the previous night. Or you wake up early, prepare good food, and give them for lunch for the school-going age. You'll save this kid if all these stresses of going to school, having to stay the whole day with, those kind of things. Our school-based diets are also a problem. Our kids eat mchele na beans every day from Monday to Monday in school. As a parent, you can make an effort. Give your own child their lunch to carry to school.
This is Kefa. Anasema, uliza Jeff, mimi naongeza weight sana, but I do practice. Why so? Maybe Jeff, you'll react to that. Douglas Sikuku on Twitter, you say, you ask, what are the predisposing factors to obesity?
Good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you?
I'm fine. This is Grace.
Yes, Grace.
So my question is it possible to breastfeed twins for 6 months?
Is it possible to breastfeed twins?
Yeah, twins for 6 months.
For 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, Grace.
Thank you. Welcome.
It's very possible to breastfeed twins, triplets, 4 quadruplets, whatever number. The human breasts are designed in such a way that the more you remove, the more it produces. So the more you breastfeed, the more the breast produces more breast milk. Breastfeeding and lactation is a hormonal activity. It's an emotional and a hormonal activity. If you are stressed about producing milk, that stress affects your milk production. If you are relaxed, calm, excited about the baby, excited about breastfeeding, it's a natural occurrence. You'll have natural milk letdown. You'll produce more. The more you breastfeed, the more milk you produce. So even if you have twins, triplets, whatever number of babies, just do more and more of breastfeeding. But also remember, do a lot of warm foods, drink a lot of soups, take a lot of fluids, increase the number of meals you take in a day to at least 5 meals a day. Lunch, breakfast, lunch, and supper, plus 2 extra meals. Do extra meals, do a lot of fluids, then you'll be good to go to breastfeed your twins.
Okay. Sikuku had asked, what are the predisposing factors to obesity?
I had earlier mentioned predisposing factors to obesity, genes, which I disputed. I disputed. People say genes. It's true. Genes predispose you to obesity, but genes should not cause you to remain obese because you don't eat those genes. I repeat again, you don't eat genes. You eat food to grow big. So as much as genes can make you obese, but that should not be an excuse. Poor dietary choices, eating too much of sugary food, fatty foods, processed foods, low in fibers and vegetables, predisposes you to obesity. Low or physical activity or exercises will put you at risk of obesity. Lack of what do we call this? Sedentary lifestyle. What do I mean by sedentary lifestyle? Sitting at your office desk morning to evening, going home with the Uber, downstairs, you don't want to use stairs, you always prefer the lift and the elevators. those kind of the sedentary lifestyle. And then another big problem that causes obesity is alcohol. Too much consumption of alcohol. Most of them you'll find them with tummies, bellies, whatever name you want to call it. But too much of alcohol generally is not good for your nutrition and your health in general. Yes, so those are the many causes that there are many things that predispose you and make you susceptible to the obesity, Chris.
Okay, watu waache tu pombe, waokoke na watubu, wapokee Yesu.
It's that easy. Be born again, receive Jesus, live the Bible. In fact, you live the Bible, it has even the meal plan. Yes, you read Leviticus, it tells you what to eat, what to avoid. Yes. I don't want to say the Bible says this and that, but just read your Bible. It even makes your life simpler. Yes.
Kefa had asked, naongeza weight sana, but I do practice a lot. I do practice. Why? Anaongeza weight as he practice.
Not just people practice. It happens even to people who go to the gym. Why? You come from the gym, you've done exercise, you've done a lot of weightlifting and so many things. Then the next thing is the appetite. Umetoka gym nini? Njaa. What do?
Unararua kurarua.
So at the end of the day, you end up not doing anything. You are back. You made one step forward. You did like 2 steps behind. So when you come from the gym, before you descend on that food, let me use the word descend. Before you shambulia that food, do take plenty of fruits. You can plenty of fruits. And water. 2 liters a day. At least.
At least 2 liters.
At least 2 liters a day.
They tell us at least 1 liter.
You don't sit down and drink 2 liters.
Oh, okay.
You can take 2 glasses in the morning, 2 glasses at lunch, 2 glasses in the evening, 2 glasses before bedtime. Drink plenty of water. By the time you are sitting down to eat, you have filled your tummy with vegetables and fruits and water. So when you are eating, you're doing small portion servings. And also to add on what Kefa asked about doing exercise and adding weight. Once you are coming from the exercise, what fellows like the hunger pangs. What do? Portion servings. We do a lot of carbohydrates. In Kenya, food without ugali ain't food. Yes. And where some of us come, food without ngwashe and waru and duma ain't food.
It's not complete.
But you remember, too much of these carbohydrates are high in calories. And they add onto the extra weight. You even say I don't eat a lot of food. But so much of the carbs in our diets makes us add a lot of weight. Chris, I want to surprise you. Palm of your... What is this, a palm or a fist?
A fist.
Yes. Is enough ugali for you.
A fist. Ngumi hivi. Ngumi. Mkono wako tu hivi ngumi. Moja.
If
mikono zote mbili ama moja tu.
If there's somebody who does not get fist, what fist means, ni ngumi.
Ngumi, mkono wako wa kulia.
Yes.
Hiyo tu.
If you are having problems with weight.
Size ya ugali. Ushaenda kwa hoteli venye unapimanga.
Exactly, that one in the hotel. It's not a mistake. They are not saving their unga. That is the portion serving you should take. If you don't complain about...
it is not economy?
No, it's not economy. That's called a serving. Yes. You can't complain about weight.
Whoa.
Gaining weight. And you are eating ugali. Hey, I won't want to mention. Ugali kubwa na ugali ndogo.
Hey, boy. Okay.
So you are complaining about weight. Listen to this. A feast of ugali is enough for you.
A feast of ugali is enough.
A feast of rice is enough for you.
Hey. At what intervals should I come back again and eat?
At lunchtime, take the feast of ugali.
Feast of ugali.
And eat it. Ukisikia njaa sana, ongeza mboga nusu ya sahani.
Ukule mboga bila ugali sasa.
Ugali na mboga nusu ya sahani.
Okay, mboga ni nusu ya sahani.
If you are my beloved listeners, if you have a pen or a paper, draw a plate and divide your plate into 3.
Draw a plate, divide your plate into 3.
2 halves, then the other half divide into 2.
2 halves, yes.
Then the 2 halves, that quarter is for ugali. The other quarter is for nyama or mayai, any kind of protein should be on the other quarter of the plate.
Sasa sisi wenye tumetoka village with all the rural appetite.
You cannot complain about weight if you can. You see, let me tell you, the reason why I say half of your plate is vegetables. Vegetables have that thing of reducing your appetite. You can't eat vegetables a full plate, but nyama you can eat a whole bowl.
Vegetable, kuna wengine wanakaanga, wanaweka hizo viungo zote.
I'm talking about the natural one.
All right.
Kama ni skuma na kitunguu, half of your plate. I'm sure you cannot eat a whole sufuria of ugali, but you can eat nyama 5 kg, especially kiwa choma. You'll just do it without restraint. So while you're sitting down to do your meal, if you're complaining of constant weight gain, remember, a feast of ugali is enough. 3 to 5 pieces of beef is enough.
Chris.
Yes.
This is Kefa.
Yes, Kefa.
And I want to ask the guest of today.
Kefa, where are you calling us from?
Of about 1 month.
Kefa, where are you calling us from?
I'm from Nairobi.
Yes, continue.
But the mother is giving the child this food called naan.
Come again?
The mother.
Yes.
She's giving the child the food called naan, Nesta naan. So I want to ask the guest, it is good for a child below 6 months to take a naan?
To take a naan.
That's another question. I'm increasing weight day by day. And I don't know why. I don't take a lot of food, just a lot of water, but I'm just increasing.
Are you depressed in a way?
Pardon?
Are you depressed in a way?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Kefa. Jeff will be able to react to that.
This is Edwin listening from Ruma.
Yes, Edwin.
I have a question, Chris. Let's say, for example, if somebody is having like 65 kgs.
65 kgs.
What's the relationship between the height and the weight of a person?
When Kefa asked that question, I was here laughing.
I don't know why.
And reason why I'm laughing, I don't want to be caught in the dispute in the home. Number one, Kefa may be right. It's not okay to give none. Medically, yes. I have to state this. 0 to 6 months, you're not supposed to give your baby anything apart from breast milk. That's number one. If you have to give your baby anything, then maybe it is the breast milk that you expressed. And maybe you express it in a cup and then you're giving the baby. Just that.
Only that.
None, these are what we call breast milk substitutes. There is no other appropriate breast milk substitute that can replace breast milk. Yes.
Wow.
Unless it goes to the extremes of the extremes.
Extremes of the extremes.
In Kenya, we even have breast milk banks. What do I mean breast milk banks? To avoid a situation where I give my baby commercial supplements, we have hospitals now having breast milk banks where mothers who have excess milk can donate their breast milk. Then this breast milk is given to another baby.
So you mean any mother can breastfeed any baby? No effect?
I don't know which village you grew up in, but that used to happen in our African villages. Leave the Nairobi thing and these city things. Those villages,
yes.
When your mother died and you were 2 months or 3 months, they will carry you and take you to the nearest available breastfeeding mother.
To continue.
And that mother will breastfeed that baby until a time when this baby can do without breast milk. And it was just okay. But now because of so many things of infections and now we have breast milk banks where the milk has to be pasteurized, to be tested for many different things. And then you give the baby the breast milk. But because of going towards those extremes, you don't want to go there. Just give your baby breast milk. I'm sure that mama has breast milk. If you don't have breast milk and you are listening to this voice, breastfeed your baby tonight. We see if he or she will not find breast milk. I had mentioned earlier that the breasts are designed in such a way that the more you breastfeed, the more you produce.
The more you breastfeed, the more you produce.
The less you breastfeed,
the less you produce.
Just that.
Wow. I tell you. Kefa says he's not eating much and he continues to increase the weight.
He's not eating much, he's continuing to add weight. Kefa, do more of vegetables.
More vegetables.
And little of carbohydrates. So make your meals plenteous of vegetables, greens. You can cut down or avoid proteins sources like meat, chicken, beef, fish. Make your meals full of vegetables. But many times people say I'm not eating much, but they're taking plenty of snacks. Yes. Nairobi kwanza hapa ni mbaya sana. Mtu atakaa kwa mtura hapo amesimama hapa 1 hour. Amesimama mtura 1 hour.
1 hour.
Na si ati anapiga siasa.
Naoni kama anakula.
Kefa, please. I've not said you're eating mutura. I'm just saying, check on the things you eat throughout the entire day, because at the end of the day, they count to the calories that you intake, and then they add to your weight gain. I've not said people are eating mutura. Anybody.
And thank you so much. I believe Kefa is well answered. Edwin had asked the relationship. Suppose someone is 65 kgs. What is the height? If I understood this question well, the relationship between the height and the weight.
Under malnutrition, we have 2 types of malnutrition. We have, what do we call it? It's moderate, and then we have severe malnutrition. Things like height. Height shows severe malnutrition. Like when a baby, there's what we talked earlier about the WHO weight for height scores, Z scores. There's a height that a baby should attain after a number of months or number of years, and then that. So when a baby does not hit some centimeters after some months, we can say that baby is I don't want to say, after a number of years, the baby can be said is stunted.
Stunted growth.
Stunted growth. Stunted growth means this baby has not achieved a certain height that a standard and healthy normal baby that age should have attained. So stunted growth is an indication of long overtime malnutrition. So that cannot be changed after a period of time, after a number of years. So within old age, you cannot change that. So if you are short or what, I'm not saying short people are stunted. I don't want to be misquoted. But stunting is an indication of long-term malnutrition.
Long-term malnutrition.
Hello, Chris.
Karibu sana. What's your name, please?
Huyu ni Francis hapa Ruai.
Yes, Francis.
Naulizaje? Mimi huenda mazoezi ku lift weights. Lakini watu pale wananiambia siwezi kuwa bila kutumia hizi supplements. Ni kitu gani naweza fanya, ama ni chakula kipi naweza kula ndio nione matokeo kwa kazi yenye nafanya?
Okay.
Haya.
Thank you so much.
Building muscle and muscle mass, weightlifting, bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is a rapid increase in muscle mass in tissues because of the wear and tear, lifting weight, and then there's that rapid increase in tissue formation. What builds tissues are proteins. These are bodybuilding blocks. When you take proteins, they help in building tissues and muscles. So if you want to build muscle, do plenty proteins, the nyamas, the mayai, the fish, all kinds of different types of protein sources. But many people prefer to doing different supplements, steroids, anabolic steroids, and all those kind of things. I may not want to really particularly mention or point on a particular supplement, but that you can do as an extra protein supplement to boost your your muscle mass and all kinds of things. But I'm sure that can be done through your diet. A lot of proteins.
Don't
excess, just do proteins. And you need energy. For energy sources, you need the carbohydrates, the ugali, the rice, the chapatis, the waru, all those the carbohydrate sources.
Okay.
Supplements are just meant to supplement, just as the word is. Supplement means to add on top. So if those people who say at the gym that to add you need supplement, is not true. The word itself means supplement, just to kuongezea. So as you take those supplements, it does not replace your food or your diet.
It does not replace your food or your diet.
Ni kuongezea tu. Yes.
Hello, my brother.
Yes, please. How are you?
Good, thank the Lord.
Amen.
Thank you for the work that you are doing.
We bless the Lord.
Bless too.
Yes, so what's your name, please?
Yeah, nina swali langu nataka kumuuliza bwana mdogo hapo.
Jina lako nani?
Inaitwa Emmanuel.
Yes, Emmanuel.
Mpenzi wa redio yako hapo sana tu.
Karibu sana, tunashukuru Mungu.
Kuanzia asubuhi mpaka asubuhi 24/7.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah, sasa mimi wakati niko nje kidogo na kuwa nimepata mtoto wangu wa kwanza hakuweza kupata maziwa ya mama yake kwa sababu matatizo ya hapa na pale. Kwa hiyo amekuwa kwa maziwa yao ya kununua lactogen manini maselelak all the time. Sasa swali langu ni kwamba kwa baadaye itakuja kumletea madhara kwa sababu hata ni kwamba maziwa ya mama yana kinga kubwa kwa mtoto. Nilikuwa naomba nisaidie kwamba hii niweze kujiandaa na kujipanga katika miezi ijayo.
Current age of the baby.
Okay, current age of the baby ako umri ngapi?
Ako na miaka 5 na kitu sasa.
Ako na miaka 5 na kitu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, please.
You speaking to Sonny?
Yes, Sonny.
I wanted to ask, what can someone do who eats too much but doesn't gain weight?
Eats too much but doesn't gain weight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe what diet can they add or what supplements? Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Sonny.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Emmanuel, your kid is 5 years of age. We mentioned that the window of opportunity is 2 years, 0 to 2 years, but that does not mean all is lost. We still have the opportunity. You still have the kid, 5 years of age, probably school going, or is yet to start going to school. I had mentioned earlier that most of us, even after breastfeeding for 0 to 2 years, we lose it at school going age. Why? We wake up the babies very early in the morning. They don't take proper breakfast. Ensure your kid, your baby takes proper breakfast in the morning when they are going to school. Not these quick meals of Weetabix and water, Weetabix and milk, and then they are quick going to school. Make sure when they leave the house in the morning, they take sufficient quantities, healthy breakfast. They can take bread and tea and a fruit and give them an egg. You can give them smokies. You can give them sausages, something to push them throughout the entire day. When the kid is going to school, the lunch that the kid takes in school, personally take personal responsibility. The mother can pack the takeaway lunch for the kid to carry to school. Maybe food you're taking the previous night or prepared in the morning. Or ensure that when the kid is at school, their menu is balanced, because most of our schools, I have a problem with many of our school-based diets. And then you see our senators are fighting that the Nyayo milk comes back to school. Yes, that Nyayo milk is very much important, because most of our school diets are not adequate. Because our kids go to school, wanapewa mchele na beans every day. Mchele, beans, some other days githeri, the side kind of diets. Ensure that when your kid is away from home, they are given adequate nutrition, whatever the menu the school offers. But now we are with the kids at home. Give them proper nutrition.
Give them proper nutrition.
Not snacks, no kids. Of course, kids will demand for snacks. Don't deny them. But moderation is important. Give them food. After eating food, you can in fact, you can use snacks as a reward scheme for the babies. After food, you take your crisps. After eating, you'll eat your chips. But they have to eat the table-based diets.
Table-based diet.
Not the fast foods.
Sonny had asked the supplement for someone, or is it those who eat too much but doesn't gain weight?
Sonny, we don't add weight by eating too much. Yes.
Okay. Continue.
Yes. We don't add weight by eating a lot of food. We add weight by eating quality. What do I mean by quality? When I sit down to eat my meals, it should be a balanced diet. If it's ugali, it's ugali. You need a protein source. If it's beef or chicken or eggs or fish, any protein source. Then you take vegetables, and then you take a fruit. You don't eat quantity, eat quality food.
Eat quality food.
And quality food does not mean expensive food. Yes, you can buy 2 eggs at 20 shillings and ugali and skuma if you stay alone like many of us. Skuma 20 shillings is enough. You eat that, not quantity.
How many times do you eat in a day?
If you have problems gaining weight or you want to gain weight, eat your normal 3 meals a day. Do healthy snacks maybe at 10 when you do a tea break for those in office or working. Do a snack at 10. Do your lunch. Do your dinner maybe at 8 or 9. Before you go to bed, do another extra snack before bedtime. That's like 5 meals a day. So if you have problems gaining weight, don't just eat amounts. Just do your good meals. Add extra meals through the day. Like 2 extra meals. Don't have to be food necessarily, but do snacks maybe at 10. And then in the evening, you can do evening tea. Then later, before bed, you can do another snack.
Someone here is asking, kindly, what's the solution to a breastfeeding mother whose hair is falling off? This is Mama Mark.
I may not tell if they're related, breastfeeding and loss of hair. Maybe there's another different condition that may be causing the hair loss. So maybe you may need to visit a medical facility to check on that. I doubt if breastfeeding and hair loss are related.
Okay.
They are not related.
Good evening. My name is Joseph from Nairobi. Can skipping off meals be a healthy way of losing weight?
Skipping meals is a healthy way of gaining weight.
Expound, sir, please.
The body naturally has that compensation mechanism. What do I mean compensation mechanism? If you're in high school like some of us boarding schools, kuna ile kulipiza. When school closed, Chris, nitalipiza. If it was chapati you were missing from school, you'll come home and eat that chapati thoroughly. If it was bread you were missing, you'll come home and do that bread squarely. So instead of skipping meals, I said earlier, do snacks like a fruit, vegetable salad, the vegetable itself. You can do a drink, but don't skip meals.
Don't skip meals.
Hunger is a trigger for excessive compulsive eating.
Okay.
You'll feel hungry, utasimama pale kwa mutura, 1 hour. So skipping meals is not a healthy way of losing weight. Do regular meals, but avoid, if you are intending to lose weight, reduce carbohydrates and proteins.
Reduce carbohydrates and proteins.
Plenty of the vegetables. Somebody is also asking, when you start weaning a baby, Henry Maende from Kawa Barracks, Corporal Maende from Kawa Barracks, is asking, when do you start weaning a baby? I had mentioned earlier, breastfeeding is exclusive for 0 to 6 months. Meaning weaning starts from 6 months, 0.1 day. So from the first day of after 6 months, you can start your weaning, and then give the baby you start with carbohydrate sources. For example, mashed potatoes, uji, mashed rice. You can do mashed rice. You can do other carbohydrate sources. You can do soft ugali. Do this to give the baby. That's you start weaning. Then you slowly introduce things like vegetables, terere, soft vegetable like terere, spinach, managu. This you can do slowly to start weaning your baby.
Okay.
Introduce your baby slowly to proteins, because proteins cause what do we call them? Allergies to babies. So when you're starting weaning, start slowly with carbohydrates, as I mentioned, slowly as you go towards the proteins. Remember, if you don't do proper nutrition for the baby, it affects their academic performance.
The academic performance?
Yes. Yes. Because this baby, the window of opportunity, what I had begun by mentioning, 0 to 2 years is when most of the body organs are starting to develop. This is when most of the brain, in fact, the brain function, the brain development starts early at pregnancy. in fact, the first 2 weeks of pregnancy, the baby's brain is developing. So even before deciding to get pregnant, ensure you are nutritionally fit. Baby should not be a surprise.
Okay.
It should be something planned.
All right.
Make sure you have a normal BMI so that when you have a baby, even if it comes as a surprise, but I said it should not be a surprise. Even if it comes as a surprise, the baby is developing well in the womb because of adequate nutrition. The baby eats what the mother takes.
All right.
So if the mother does not take adequately, the baby will not have adequate, will have problems with learning, will have problems with the brain, will have problems with motor and cognitive function. So it's true, poor nutrition affects brain development.
Mtoto ako na miezi 4. Akinyonya anaona ni kama hashibi, anashinda amelia, ananyonya akilia, odo maziwa iko lakini ananyonya imtoshi. So nilikuwa nafikiria kama naweza koroga kauji nimpatie uji nyepesi kabisa. Nilikuwa nafikiria koroga uji nimpatie nione kama atarelax.
How old is the baby?
4 months.
Relax sana, ni stress sana.
Maybe you can react to that, Jeff. Thank you so much, Josephine.
Asante.
Thank you.
Josephine, please, my sister Josephine, babies below 6 months should not take anything apart from breast milk.
Amesema mtoto ashibi, anakaa shibi.
Yes. I know what the problem is. Breast milk is divided into 2 parts. We call it the foremilk and the hind milk. A mother, breastfeeding mothers, if you try squeezing your breasts, what comes out first is water. Yes. So if you're breastfeeding your baby, don't breastfeed in a hurry. The baby should breastfeed on one particular breast for 30 minutes. One breast, not both. Why am I saying 30 minutes? The first few minutes of breastfeeding, like 10 to 20 minutes, is purely water. So what mothers do, they put the baby here for 5-10 minutes, then the next other breast for 2-5 minutes, then they leave the baby to rest. The next thing ni mtoto hashibi. Yes, hawezi shiba because they're only taking water. So when you're breastfeeding your baby, Josephine and all the mothers tuned in, put your baby on one breast, if it's the left side or the right side, for 30 minutes. Why am I saying 30 minutes? After the 20 minutes, that's when what we call the hind milk, ile maziwa ya nyuma, which is now the nutrition for the baby. The hind milk now has fat, has all the other nutrients that the baby now needs. So don't be in a rush when you're breastfeeding your baby, don't think about washing clothes. Don't think about going to cook while breastfeeding. Breastfeeding the baby is an emotional activity. It's time to bond with your baby. Take time breastfeeding. Even if it's 1 hour, it's okay. It's the baby's right. Atukukimbizangi ukikula ugali yako. Mpea mtoto haki yake.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sharon Chacha had asked, is there a direct relationship between weight gain and psychological state?
Chacha, Sharon, that's a wonderful question. Weight and psychology. Chris, I tell you, find an obese teenager. They don't even want to go and play out. Why? Because their fellow teenagers will mock them. They call them Momo. What else do they call them? Whatever the names, they have very many names. Made, Shosho, whatever names. So it affects the mental state of this teenager. They lack self-esteem. They have low self-esteem. They don't value themselves because when they go playing, because of their excess weight, watoto wenzao wanawachekelea. So as a parent, it's important to monitor the weight of your child. It will even affect their performance in school because they can't socialize with others. They are being mocked and abused. They live kujidharau. And not just kids and babies. Even when you are an adult, and then your weight looks like it's, especially for ladies, sorry to say, ladies are very keen on their weight.
Very keen on their weight.
And sometimes it goes beyond. So people start looking at you like, hey, okay, okay. So weight affects your psychology.
Weight affects your psychology.
So ensure you work on an optimum way. Don't be too much and don't be on the low side again.
Nilikuwa niko na shida nikikula tishibi.
Alright, tutakujibu. Nasikiza kutoka wapi?
Nairobi. Yeah.
Asante sana. Kuna shida akikula ashibi.
Okay, I have a problem. I have a 1-month baby. Na siku ya kuzaliwa alimaliza wiki moja na akaanza kunisumbua kulia sana nikimnyonyesha. Ikabainika kuwa sina maziwa ya kutosha. Nikamintroduce kwa nan. Sasa at least anaweza kanyonya alale kwa kipindi kirefu kiasi. And then second, inafaa ni resume kazi. Na nimeambiwa niachie mtu, nitafute mtu niachie mtoto huyu wa 1 month. Sasa naweza nikafanya aje?
Okay, thank you so much.
Introducing your baby to nan at 1 month of age is okay. That is a mistake already happened. But that doesn't mean you cannot continue breastfeeding. You can continue breastfeeding your baby even when you go back to work. Chris, many babies develop a lot. Mothers will agree with me. Taking babies to daycare, they develop a lot of complications. Why? The babies will be given a lot of uji, a lot of Weetabix, and sometimes it is not warmed food. Ni chakula kibaridi, mtoto anapewa chakula kibaridi. So they start developing pneumonia in many conditions early. Kindly, if you're leaving your baby with somebody, find somebody who's responsible. And you see, daycare, they have several babies, one person to manage several babies. I want to tell you what they do. They'll give your baby 1 cup of uji, atalala the whole day. Utamia mtoto wako aliangi. Your baby should cry out of hunger. Hunger is a natural occurrence. Ukiambia mtoto wako asumbuagi, mama toa mtoto your daycare, the baby should cry because na hunger. Ate unasikiaga njaa, you go buy a snack and eat. So when you're leaving somebody with your baby, you can do expressing milk, kukamua maziwa yako vile tunakamuanga ng'ombe. Mama unaweza jikamua maziwa usiku, uweke kwa chupa ama kikombe. I said earlier, breast milk can stay safe for 24 hours without refrigeration. So kamua maziwa yako kama mama usiku, uweke, ufunike mahali mzuri. The person who gives your baby the milk will just put the cup of milk in hot water, not boiling. Put the cup of milk in hot water to make the milk warm, then give the baby. So you can continue with your normal milk even while at work.
Someone had asked, anakula na shibi.
Anakula na shibi. It was Samuel Ohu. I think it was Samuel. He said anakula na shibi. Samuel, we do deworming after every 6 months. So I wish you were here. I would have asked you the last time you did deworming. So if it is more than 6 months ago, please do deworming.
Do deworming. Another question here, even as we start winding down, Molly Okaka had asked the solution to constant rashes on her face, and then then to add some bit of weight.
Molly, rashes can be acne or what we call pimple. Rashes can also be caused by what we call, I keep forgetting this condition, can be an allergy. Rashes can be caused by the types of food that we eat, especially if we take too much fatty foods. Of course, everybody in high school used to say, nikikula blue band, natoka na pimples. So if you do too much fatty foods, you might see like the rashes and the pimples on your face. If you do too much fat again, you can have the acne. But again, there are those conditions that are caused by too much proteins. There are people who are allergic to proteins. When they take too much proteins, what we call eczema, that's what the word I was looking for. When you take, there are people who are allergic to proteins. When they take too much proteins, it appears as rashes on the skin, on several different parts of the body. If it's eczema, it's a medical condition which is treatable and manageable. But again, I talk about acne can come from too much fat from the diet. So do plenty of water if you're having too much rashes on the face. Reduce fat in your food. Reduce fatty food.
Reduce fatty food.
When was the last time you dewormed? Please. Failure to deworm means you are feeding another team in your stomach.
Another team.
Sorry to use that bad word. You are feeding you and another team. So you are not just eating for yourself. You are eating plus another team in the stomach. So sometimes you eat but you gain little because the other team takes much. So deworming should be a constant thing. Do on a regular basis at least 6 months. Deworming, even sometimes 3 months. Deworm so that you don't have too much of the parasitic worms in the system that takes up the nutrients that you need.
Okay.
Yes. Listeners, it's been a pleasure to be on this program to respond to your queries. Remember, as the old adage says, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. It is not just the apple. It means if you eat healthy, you will keep the doctor at bay. And the other people say food should be your medicine. Actually, the people of old did not have hospitals because they were eating healthy. So eat healthy, you have a good immune system. Once you have a good immune system, you'll be good to be productive at work. You'll not take sick leaves. You'll not have sick offs because your immunity is good. When you have a baby that is well fed, you'll not be admitted in the ward all the time because of baby sickness. So make food your medicine. When you visit the green groceries all the time, you will not visit the pharmacy. So thank you once again for your time. You can check us on YouTube, Blessed Winston, with an E at the end. That's our YouTube channel. You'll find our videos, educative videos, to learn more about nutrition, your foods at home. And then you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Blessed Winston. Send your questions at tweets at Jeff_Winston, and much more. We can connect and remember to eat healthy and stay safe. God bless you.
Remember to eat healthy and stay safe. Thank you so much, Jeff Winston. God bless you even for coming.